We open the episode with Cosmo going through audition tapes for new contestants, but he doesn't like any of them, so he has to resort to drastic measures by asking Madame Odious to take some of their very, very small supply of ninja steel they managed to attain, make a shuriken, and using her dark magic, curse it so when it hits something, it turns into contestant. It hits a phone booth and The next day, Calvin's in a little hot water for sleeping in and getting him and Haley late to school, which is bad for Haley because she's running for student president. But also Sarah is. So the monster who has the power to mimic voices puts the team against each other. Most heartbreaking is Calvin actually supports Sarah in her campaign, which upsets Haley, but Calvin thinks that she would be better as president than her. Later, Levi is setting up for the concert at the county fair, taking photos with fans, just for Brody to sneak in with his ninja powers and him to ask, "Why did you run away?" Levi is just flabbergasted and tries to dodge the question. And then Brody realizes that he has a Yang necklace. And he's like, "You are Levi. You are my brother. You have the other half of the necklace Dad gave to us." Levi tries hiding the necklace in his shirt and tries dodging the question again, saying he just can't be around others like this. And before Brody can question him further, Cyanbot walks in and just apprehends Brody and tosses him out. Just for the contestant to call Levi with Brody's voice, and he's like, "Wait a minute." So he meets up with Haley, and we get some fighting, cool team finisher. And afterwards, Levi agrees to help the Rangers. He just has to keep his distance for now. And when Brody tries questioning him why, he teleports away with ninja powers. Then at school, the tallies are in, the votes are in the box. The winner is Monty. The girls are like, "What?" And Brody says, sorry, I voted a lot, and I thought the check mark was supposed to be for people you don't want to win. Because of course he wouldn't know how voting works because he's been gone for 10 years. Haley and Sarah apologize for being so rude to each other during this campaign, and they shake hands. And Calvin's like, "Hey babe, sorry for voting against you." And she's like, "You're still not off the hook yet." Odious forges a new shuriken, curses it, and changes a teapot into the next contestant. Something about chocolate statues and shenanigans later. We got some ninja fighting, Ripcon and Brody rematch, which ends in a draw. The contestant uses her powers to make everyone feel anxiety. She collects this fear energy, but then the two are scared off by Star Ninja. Preston and Haley are unaffected and get everyone back to the base. Levi is full of a lot of emotions being home again. And Haley asks, "Okay, dude, why do you keep just appearing and disappearing?" And Levi finally spills the beans about his backstory. 10 years ago, when Brody and their dad disappeared, he did what his dad told him and hid the ninja steel. So he got some, hid it in the trophy, and took the rest with him on a train to get to one of Dan's old friends who adopted Levi. He lived on the ranch for a while until he decided to join the Thunder Ninja Academy to complete his ninja training. The new Thunder Ninja Academy, of course, being taught by Hunter from Ninja Storm. During the events of the Megaforce and Samurai crossover 3 years ago, a werewolf Nihilok appeared and scratched Levi. The werewolf was scared off by his adoptive father, but it was too late because the scratch affected him. Now every time he feels negative emotions, he turns into a wolf. And it can be a pretty long time before he turns back. He soon graduated from the Thunder Academy, and he adopted the cowboy aesthetic because it's something that reminds him of his stepfamily. It brings him joy to perform in front of people. This is why he became a country western superstar. He continues to be a ninja because it reminds him of his father, which brings him joy. All this joy keeps the wolf at bay. Sometimes he does tap into the wolf's power, which is why he's so strong and has super speed, but he's scared that one day he's going to use too much of the power and completely turn into the wolf. And then after this, he starts grabbing his arm where the scratch was. Then Cyanbot runs in and tries calming him down, bringing up the thing that makes him happy, the song that his father always sang to him, because it reminds him of home. Also, Cyanbot, I thought of a voice. Scott McNeil, who already looks like a cowboy even though he's Australian-Canadian.
That's right, kids. It's me, Jetfire. So go ahead and applaud if you like. After all, I'm practically a superhero. That's why they call me Optimus's right-hand bot. He's only kidding. But seriously, I'm here, so there's nothing to worry about. Count on me.
Because Cyanbot was able to sing the song that makes Levi the happiest, Haley and Preston start thinking the way to beat the contestant is just think about the stuff that makes you the happiest to beat your anxiety. Preston's happiest memory is the day he first learned about real magic, and Haley's is the first time that Calvin asked her out. Later, the team says they should give up the Shurikens to have the contestant cure everyone. Galvin X is thrilled at this as Odious teleports the Shurikens back up to him and has the contestant not cure everyone and backstabs them and fights them, just for Galvin X to find out that the Shurikens are chocolate. Everyone morphs, and then Galvin X is really angry at Odious for this and using the tiny bit of Ninja Seal they have for such waste. Odious tries tossing a Kudabot in front of her to prevent getting destroyed by Galvin X, just for Galvin X to pick up the Kudabot and crush him into a cube, and he storms off angry. And then fighting with the three, and everyone's cured when they're destroyed, Zords, yada yada. But then at the end, when everyone learns Levi's story, he agrees to train the ninjas, but he's still not 100% on this. In this whole team thing. We open with Levi training the ninjas. Everyone's starting to get really good at this. Meanwhile, we're introduced out of retirement to General Tynaman, played by The Big Show.
Brock Lesnar is the beast incarnate. He's probably one of the most dangerous superstars in the WWE right now. That being said, I still don't like Brock Lesnar.
He's introduced because Galvin X felt that Odious and Ripcon are being super incompetent, so he needed a veteran to show how it's done. Ripcon is really angered by this, so Galvin X is alright, prove that you're still of worth. So Ripcon's basically bet. And he goes down and just rampages. The ninjas are alerted to this, and Brody just starts kind of quivering in fear. And we get his backstory of, during his 10 years on Galaxy Warriors, he was basically a water boy to Ripcon, who treated him like dirt and just smacked him around, bullied him, terrible stuff, made his life hell. So when the ninjas go out to fight him, they're having a pretty hard time, even Levi, because he doesn't want to access the wolf's powers. But then the ninja prism flies in and knocks Ripcon around a lot, causing him to retreat. The ninja prism presents itself in front of Levi, showing footage of all their powers together. So Levi decides that he's going to stay behind at the base and forge a new star to combine everyone's powers, and everyone keeps Ripcon occupied. So later we get our final showdown between Brody and Ripcon, where he just gets real messed up and gets his sword knocked away. But Preston puts his rivalry beside and tosses his sword, protecting him. And soon Levi is able to finish the fusion Shuriken. Levi arrives on the scene just in time as Ripcon's charging up his final attack. So he tosses the Shuriken to Brody, who's able to access everyone's powers and finally defeats Ripcon. But then when he grows giant, he also summons 2 Skelegators, which he uses to combine into one giant skeleton sword, and just slaps everyone around. Everyone's in trouble, but then Sarah decides that the idea of them using the fusion Shuriken. So Brody does, creating the Rodeo Shuriken Megazord, and they put Ripcon in his place, finally defeating him. Then later, it's county fair time, and Preston's performing magic tricks. Like he pulls Monty out of a hat, and he's like, "What? I was at home, what's going on?" And Brody starts performing the song that his father sang to him when he felt bad, and to remember his mom that's no longer with them. And at this point, also his father. This really moves Levi, who joins him on stage and starts singing with him. And the 2 brothers finally unite their yin-yang necklaces, accepting that they are brothers. The ninjas are racing in the county fair for fun. Boom is there, but for moral support because he's not in good shape. And Calvin just doesn't want to race, but he's supporting Haley. Levi is also there for mostly moral support and musical tunes. Then General Chinaman presents his new contestant. This running-themed contestant will turn people into trophies if they lose to a race to him. So he disguises himself as a human and participates in races, turning most of the ninjas into trophies. So Calvin challenges the contestant to a 3-person race, and Calvin has to race with Brody and Levi. Brody's being Brody, but Calvin teaches them teamwork. The ninjas win! Everyone's back to normal, Calvin kisses Haley, and we get some Levi-Brody bonding.